At the searing edge of the sun's fire, a steel-gray bead slips through space, Mercury. Its orbit is stretched like a bright ribbon, so it sprints at perihelion and slows at aphelion simple gravity with dramatic results. Dawn here is not gentle. Grazing sunlight ignites the rims of craters and wrinkle ridges, pulling long blade-like shadows across dust-cold regolith. From low orbit, the surface reads like a geological chronicle, smooth volcanic floodplains spread over older, battered terrain. Buried rims and faint ejecta rays whisper of ancient storms of rock and fire. Then the great scar arrives, Caloris, ringed by fractures and lineated ground, the frozen echo of a colossal impact that reshaped half a hemisphere. Pull back, and the clockwork deepens. For every 2 laps around the sun, Mercury turns 3 times, stretching the solar noon to noonday longer than its own year. With almost no air to soften the blaze or hold the night's chill, the dayside glares while the nightside sinks into cobalt dark. Yet in that harshness lies clarity, a world stripped of fundamentals: rock, metal, sunlight, shadow. Smallest of the planets, closest to the furnace, Mercury stands alone, stark, resilient, and compelling the opening chapter of the inner solar system. With Mars now rising on your screen, welcome to Galaxy Vision, short, vivid journeys across the cosmos. If you're new here, glad to have you. Today's focus: the red planet's thin air, rusted deserts, and hidden ice. Ready to dive in? Let's begin. Against Earth and Moon for scale, Mercury looks small, yet surprisingly weighty. Its iron-rich interior gives it high density and stronger gravity than you'd guess from its size. Landslides creep down crater walls. Fine regolith avalanches in slow motion, reminding us this tiny world is built of heavy metal. Mercury's path is a stretched ellipse with the sun off-center. Near perihelion, it sprints. Near aphelion, it lingers. That changing speed sculpts its seasons and space weather, altering solar wind pressure and radiation. Gravity's geometry, simple and relentless, sets the tempo of this planet's harsh clockwork environment. Hover above the equator and watch the sky barely move. Mercury rotates so slowly that the sun crawls, turning noon to noon into the longest day of any planet. With almost no tilt, seasons blur. What matters is longitude and distance from the sun, where you stand and when. On the day side, rock bakes under brutal sunlight. On the night side, heat escapes into vacuum and the ground freezes blue cold. The sweeping terminator divides glare from darkness like a blade. Without a real atmosphere, temperature is ruled by illumination, a lone raw physics etched across cratered stone. Mercury keeps lonely company. No rings, no moons, only space. Its silhouette is stark, its orbit quiet. That emptiness helps us read the planet cleanly. Gravity, sunlight, rock, metal. No tidal tug of a satellite, no debris belts. Just the inner system's bare, elegant mechanics. Cut the planet open in your mind. A huge metallic core dominates, with a solid inner heart and a liquid outer shell. Above lies a thin silicate mantle and crust. That oversized core explains Mercury's density, its lingering magnetism, and a geologic story driven from the inside. Magnetic field lines drape weakly around Mercury, offset toward the north, forming a slender shield and a long magnetotail. Solar wind particles stream past, sometimes reconnecting, sometimes carving curtains of charged gas. It's a magnetosphere on a diet, fragile, lopsided, but undeniably alive. On the night side, a faint yellow plume stretches away from the sun, a sodium tail, born from surface atoms knocked loose by sunlight, heat, and tiny impacts. Like comet dust made of metal vapor, it ripples with solar wind changes, revealing invisible weather in Mercury's whisper-thin exosphere. Skim low and the texture shifts. Ancient intercrater plains peppered by impacts give way to smoother volcanic floodplains. Dark basalt once welled up, drowning older scars, hardening into wide level sheets. Wrinkle ridges and buried rims show where lava sagged and crust adjusted as it cooled. The Caloris Basin arrives like a continent-sized scar rings within rings, radial fractures, and rippled terrain beyond the rim. This was a colossal impact, excavating deep rock and reshaping the hemisphere. Later, lava softened its floor, but the geometry remains. Circles, lines, and shadows telling of violet origin. Lobate scarps towering, curved cliff slice across plains and craters. These are thrust faults from global contraction, formed as Mercury cooled and shrank. At low sun angles, their shadows reveal stacked crust shoved upward and over itself. A planet wrinkled by time, tightening like a drying apple. V-bright, fresh hollows pock crater floors and central peaks, shallow, rimless depressions with bluish tones. They look geologically young, likely formed as volatile rich material escaped or sublimated. Dust streams away in fine curtains, leaving raw, sparkling surfaces, Mercury strange, airy scars, unique among the rocky planets. Near the poles, sunlight never reaches some crater floors. In that perpetual shade, patches of water ice can persist beneath dust. Temperatures plummet, trapping volatiles for eons. From the rim, faint reflections glint across dark ground, a freezer at the doorstep of the sun. Mercury's atmosphere is really an exosphere, atoms knocked free by micrometeoroids and solar wind sputtering. Each flash liberates particles that hop in graceful arcs, some escaping, some falling back. Sodium, potassium, oxygen, and more drift briefly above the surface, forming a ghostly, ever-changing veil. Over one Mercury year, the sodium tail waxes and wanes. Near perihelion, it brightens and lengthens as heating and radiation drive more atoms off the surface. Near aphelion, it fades. From the side, the plume stretches. Trailing behind, it swells like a comet planetary breath, modulated by orbit. Watch thermal radiation itself. Blistering brightness at the subsolar point, infrared glow tapering toward the twilight, and a cold, silent night hemisphere. The Terminator advances, revealing how quickly bare rock heats and cools in vacuum. In polar shadows, frost endures microclimates defined purely by light and geometry. Subtle stresses pulse through Mercury's crust. As the planet moves along its eccentric orbit, tidal and thermal forces rise and fall. Fine fractures and wrinkle ridges trace that invisible rhythm. No atmosphere muffles it. The lithosphere records the beat, directly stone responding to sunlight and gravity. Mercury's rotation and orbit are locked in a 3-to-2 resonance. 3 spins for every 2 trips around the Sun. The result is a solar day longer than its year, with the Sun lingering near certain longitudes. Its celestial choreography stable, surprising, and key to Mercury's thermal extremes. Mercury's axis is almost upright, practically no tilt. That near-zero obliquity flattens seasonal differences and creates those permanent polar shadows. Circle the pole and the geometry barely shifts. Sunlight skims the horizon, defining a world where latitude and topography drive climate more than the calendar. Mariner 10, the Pioneer, flew past in the 1970s and revealed a cratered, moon-like face, yet not the whole globe. Those brief encounters opened the door. Magnetic surprises, towering scarps, and a promise that orbiters would someday map everything. First glimpses that turned mystery into mission. BepiColombo, a joint ESA-JAXA mission, has been flying by Mercury, capturing crisp images and sampling the environment on its way to orbit. Soon it will split into 2 orbiters to study surface, field, and exosphere in tandem, poised to refine everything we think we know. At Mercury's pole, sunlight never arrives. Ice glints in permanent shadow as we climb back to the rim and meet the first razor of dawn. On the night side, a faint sodium tail streams anti-sunward, a whisper of atoms in flight. The Terminator sweeps across craters, trading searing glare for cobalt night. We pull back, inner orbits arc like threads. Mercury shrinks to a single ember. A final crescent slips along the Sun's soft corona, then turns to silhouette. Like and subscribe to Galaxy Vision for more space stories.